the show of today, right? Carlos is an artist, he's a designer, he's a tech entrepreneur and speaker. He's founder and CEO of Schematic and ECA Platform, a new artificial intelligence company. He's an award-winning filmmaker, entrepreneur, director, writer, designer, photographer, event producer, digital nomad.
We're at the beach, people, come on. Yeah. All right, so my name is Carlos Mats. I'm an artist, technologist, and entrepreneur for the past 18 years. And this is my website, carlosmats.com. I'm going to talk today about who has heard about the Metaverse lately. Yeah? Can you raise your hands if you heard about the Metaverse? All right. You heard about a Metaverse because someone called Mark Zuckerberg rechanged the company's name from Facebook to Meta, right? You have heard it before. Huh, there we go. Now I want to know who has heard it before Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah? So a few. Ah, that's great, amazing.
Can I tell you when I heard about it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I heard about it in Peach at the Beach, August 2021, before October, when Mark Zuckerberg announced it. Can I say that Metaverse was officially launched in Peach at the Beach, August 2021?
2021. We were there. Yes or no? Yeah, sure. We were there. I was giving this presentation in 2021 in Isla Pasión in Mexico. And I was talking about the Metaverse way before everybody knew about the Metaverse. And some people said, that's never going to happen. Then 1 month later, the Mark Zuckerberg thing happened. I'm like, I told you so. Right? All right, so this is me. Well, not that's Leo Messi, but that's the photo that I took of Leo Messi. This is my website, carlosmats.com. As I told you, I'm an entrepreneur, technologist, and artist. And let me start the presentation because it's a very dense one, okay? So let's go. This is me, Carlos Mats. My handle is @CarlosMats. You can find me in all social media. And I'm here to talk about the Metaverse. So the best representation that we have about the Metaverse is this film called Ready Player One, which is based on a book, right? And who has seen that movie? Who has read that book? Have you all? Yeah, some of you have seen it. Okay, great. So just so that we have context, let me play a little trailer.
Nowhere.
And this is the Metaverse.
The Oasis. A whole virtual universe. People come to the Oasis for all the things they can do. But they stay because of all the things they can be.
Can you feel this?
Yeah. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything.
So that's the Metaverse. Basically, it's the new internet that we're gonna be accessing through augmented reality glasses and virtual reality glasses. So the screens that we use today are just gonna go away. They're gonna disappear. So the content is gonna be all around us, and we're gonna be living in virtual reality worlds, and augmented reality data is going to be overimposed into our realities. Basically, the next iteration of the internet itself, right? The way humans interact with data is going to completely change, right? We are used to interacting with data in 2D screens, right? In 2D interfaces. And if you think about it, the real estate of those interfaces are really small. Like our phones are super short, and our tablets are super small. So we have to fit a lot of information in that. And that has given rise to a lot of bad user experiences and compression of data that don't serve us in a good way. But all that is going to go away because data is going to be all around us. So, in order for me to better explain the Metaverse for you, I have to explain each one of the components that make the Metaverse happen, right? So, I'm going to go as quickly as possible into each one of these technologies. The first one is the presentation layer, which is virtual reality and augmented reality. Then artificial intelligence is the operations layer. It's how everything is going to be operated. It's going to be autonomous. I say presentation layer because that's how data is presented, right? And operations is how everything's going to operate. And the economics and the data, all the privacy, the data ownership, and the economy of the entire metaverse worlds are gonna be run through blockchain. We're gonna talk about that. And the transport layer is gonna be ultra speed internet. Right now we have 4G, 5G, eventually we're gonna have 6G, and we're gonna have all Starlink internet, which is a global, internet, spatial internet. So let's go one by one, and let me explain bit by bit how the metaverse is pieced together, right? All right, let's start with AR and VR. Reality is a spectrum. Right now, we are in base reality, which is 0% immersion in virtual reality, or what we think it's base reality, right? And then as we move forward into virtual reality, we get 100% immersion, right? Because we have headsets on our face that block the entire real world and they transport you to a completely virtual world, right? So that's virtual reality. But what's in the middle, it's augmented reality. It's basically glasses that you can see through into the real world, but information is overlaid as holograms around you, right? So there's 3 stages. The real world that we are right now, 0% immersion, augmented reality, which is halfway there, and virtual reality, which is full immersion, right? And all the big technology companies in the world are investing heavily in research and development to make the hardware as light and as fast and as good as possible. We know about Oculus, that is now called Meta, which was bought by Facebook 12 years ago for $2.1 billion. It actually started as a Kickstarter campaign from this kid, 18 years old. He built a VR headset in his garage. Then he made a Kickstarter, and then he was bought out with $2.1 billion by Mark Zuckerberg. How about that, right? Yeah, so, and then we have Google. Which started with Google Glass back in 2012, and they discontinued it, but they're now kicking themselves because they're behind everybody else. They should have continued. We have Sony and Microsoft with HoloLens. So the biggest technology companies in the world are investing heavily, not only in the hardware, but in the software to make the metaverse a reality. Augmented reality and virtual reality are not things that are going to happen in the future. They're already providing a lot of value in the real world right now. For example, augmented reality is a big tool for enterprise, mainly. An example is that General Electric uses augmented reality glasses so that their warehouse workers, they receive orders in augmented reality, and they see exactly where the warehouse they need to go, and they locate the parcel where they need to go, and they don't have to touch any type of paper or talk with anybody. They just automatically go, and that makes it 46% faster. Also, the wind turbine technicians that need to make sure that all the cables are in the right place and give maintenance for everything, instead of looking at manuals, endless manuals, and checking, dividing your attention between the manual and the real thing, they have augmented reality glasses that the manual itself is augmented reality, and it overlays into the real world, and it tells us exactly where everything needs to go, and it makes them 34% faster. So this is not years from now technology. This is happening today. VR, which is full immersion, is amazing in training and education specifically. Basically, if you need to repeat an event that is hard to repeat, like for example a firefighter, you can train firefighters in VR or technicians, and they can do the same drill over and over again without wasting any resources. And it's great because it has perceptual fidelity. It really feels like you are in this virtual reality world. How many of you have used virtual reality? Some of you have. Exactly. Excellent. I love it. So it not only perceptual fidelity, but on-demand repetition and progress monitoring. So it can actually sense your movements and everything that you do inside of the virtual world, so that it gives you stats in real time, so that you can perform better the very next session. So in training and education is super huge. Compared to a lecture or to a reading a book, that the retention tends to go from 10% to 15 to 20%. Retention of information inside of virtual reality is 75%, because it actually feels like a video game, and it is 99% recommended by users. If you go to a workplace and you are trained in virtual reality, you actually have more information inside of you, and you become a better part of the team. Of course, Entertainment is a huge thing. We have now Kart Vr, which is amazing. I tried it in Japan. I was blown away because, especially when you see your hands, and instead of your hands, you're in the hands of Yoshi or Mario, right? I'm like, oh my god! I mean, it's freaky, and you feel the car vibrating and everything. It's great. I also did this one, which it combines a lot of sensors and heat. Actually, you feel that you're in a platform, you know, chasing Darth Vader and on top of lava. You can actually feel the heat from you know, they have it all set up so you can feel different temperatures and pressures and everything. It's amazing. It's for entertainment. It's huge. Not only for, you know, entertainment purposes, but actually virtual reality. Not only entertainment, not only training, not only enterprise, but it is huge in actually delivering empathy, because it literally puts you in the position of somebody else. So Alejandro Iñárritu, which is a beast, he's an amazing filmmaker. He was given this special Oscar because he created in a virtual reality experience that was so advanced that they actually created an Oscar for him. You know, like they have only given this Oscar once before, and it was given to Pixar for revolutionizing computer graphics. And the only time they gave it again, it was to Alejandro Iñárritu, because this created this experience called Carne y Arena, which basically is the experience, it's a sad experience of a migrant person that goes from Mexico to the United States. And you can see all the, you know, all the trials and tribulations that the person goes through, and all the fear, all the anxiety, all the, you know, you feel super insecure when you're trying this, just like the person that went through felt. So it makes you empathic, and you know, it delivers empathy for you to everybody that goes through those horrible situations. And thankfully, we don't have to. So it is a very powerful technology for not only business, not only entertainment, but you know, the delivering human emotion, right? Okay, let me give you a demo. Well, I'm gonna be giving you two demos today. One is both are about artificial intelligence, but right now I'm gonna give you a little video that Google actually launched. Let me see, a couple of days ago, and actually a couple of weeks ago, and they are developing this. Check it out.
You should be seeing what I'm saying, just transcribed for you in real time, kind of like subtitles for the world.
What we're working on is technology that enables us to break down language barriers, taking years of research in Google Translate and bringing that to glasses.
You see me?
Oh, sí, sí te veo.
I'm actually looking straight into your eyes, and it seems like you're looking right at me.
Oh, sí, sí, estoy viendo lo que están diciendo para allá.
Those are augmented reality glasses, and we're going to have real-time translation in augmented reality soon. You know, that's a killer application. That's killer, and hardware succeeds because of killer software. So this is the kind of thing that Google's working on. They should not stop development in Google Glass, because apparently they're doing it again, and you know, this could have been out years ago. The XR global market, XR is AR, VR, MR, mixed reality, augmented reality, virtual reality, is exploding basically. The forecast is that by 2025 it's going to be a 400 billion you know, market, but the metaverse itself is going to be trillions, just like the internet is trillions now. Yeah, what's coming? Well, you know, Facebook is doing their own virtual worlds. Apple is going to release in the next 18 to 24 months an AR, VR headset that is not going to look like that just now. It's not going to be as sleek as these glasses, but this is the form factor that we're going to have in the next 10 to 13 years. So this is what's going to replace the smartphone. The smartphone is going to go away eventually, and glasses are going to replace it. And Apple, we know what happens when Apple gets into a market, it becomes a leader, the user experience is amazing. So in the next 18 to 24 months, they're going to release this device that is going to be a mix of augmented reality and virtual reality. It's going to be thick, you know, just like the ones we have now. But do you remember the Motorola phones from the 80s? right? They were huge. We had a brick on your faces. And now we have a brick on our faces in virtual reality right now, but it's gonna become slimmer and slimmer and slimmer and slimmer until it becomes just like a fashionable products, just like your AirPods are, just like your Apple Watch is, right? Just like your augmented reality glasses. So they're gonna release in about 18 to 24 months. And it's not only hardware that is being revolutionized, it's about software, it's about how to create virtual worlds without your computer or your device exploding because there's so many information. So this company called Epic, they have, they're a game development company. They have developed this framework to creating virtual worlds that basically have unlimited resolution. That was magic before these people made it happen. In order to, a little primer about virtual worlds are created by polygons. The more polygons you have, the more processing power you need to actually reproduce them on the screen in real time. You need a very powerful computer to actually reproduce in real time a very intricate and high resolution world. But these guys have created a software that you can have infinite resolution virtual worlds with, and you can run them in your house laptop. It's a complete revolution for not only for gaming, for virtual worlds, but for the metaverse itself. I tried it. It feels like the Matrix, guys. Like you are in it, and you can go super zoomed in into an object that's super intricate. You can see all the little details. You can zoom all the way out of the marina. You can see all the boats and everything. It's infinite resolution. It's amazing. But right now we are talking about hardware that we put on top of our faces, right? Eventually, this company called Neurolink that was founded by Elon Musk is actually trying to get the hardware in front of our faces inside of our brains. So let me give you a little video of how this works. Basically, it already exists and it's already being used in animals. So this little monkey has a Neurolink on its brain, and it's actually controlling this little game. The game is that this little dot needs to touch this square right here, and he's controlling it with his joystick. But he really isn't. He's controlling it with his brain, but he's using the joystick because it's used to that. So you can see there that it's using it, and now we can see that the joystick is unconnected.
We can use the output from the decoder to move the cursor instead of the joystick. Paige still moves the joystick out of habit, but as you can see, it's unplugged. He's controlling the cursor entirely with decoded neural activity.
With his mind. He's controlling the computer with his mind, guys. And eventually, it lets go of the joystick, and every time he completes a task, he gets a little treat in the form of a banana smoothie.
Is to play his favorite video.
So check it out.
Pong.
It's using its mind to play games.
On the right side of the screen, Paige simply thinks about moving his hand up or down. We've removed the joystick altogether. Now that he's up to speed, let's increase the difficulty and see how well Paige can play with the Neuralink.
Okay, so how do you feel about that, guys? Huh? How do you feel about that? Right. So as you can see, this is incredible. So we are out of the VR and AR portion. We're going to AI real quick. So just to give you a primer about augmented reality, artificial intelligence. So the brain is the most complex known object in the known universe. We know more about black holes than we know about our brains. A neurosurgeon can tell you that if the amount of information that is knowable about the brain is a kilometer, we only know a centimeter, and that's what we've been working with this hundreds of years. And what we know is that the brain is created is built by neurons and dendrites, and artificial neural networks mimic how the biology of the brain works, right? Basically, nature is the most perfect computer. So we have developed a way to make computers learn the way us humans and living things learn. Real quick, basically, we have senses, right? We have sight, touch, hearing. Those are our inputs, right? And on our brain, we process all those inputs and we output actions, or our actions might be like movement or speech or whatever. But that's basically how we work: input, processing, output. That is exactly how artificial neural networks work. They have input layers. They have hidden layers inside of the neurons that process the information, and the output layer is something that you need to know. For example, if I have a autonomous vehicle and I wanted to learn not to hit motorcycles on the road, basically the previous way to do it is to hard code every single instance of how a motorcycle looks, every model, every make, every year, every angle. It's a brutal amount of information. But now we can have computers learn by themselves. So with the power of the internet, with the advent of the internet, that we have unlimited information, we can input thousands and millions of billions of videos and photos into an artificial intelligence and tell it, learn what this concept is. And it will learn by itself what a concept of a motorcycle is. So the next time that it is presented with one, it can actually discern whether or not if it's a motorcycle or not. And we've all seen this, right? Have anybody gotten these captchas? Yeah? Yeah. So this is basically, we are training the artificial intelligence on the concept of motorcycles. We're actually grading them, right? So every time you see one of these, you are helping an artificial intelligence learn about any concept, right? Okay. This is a little announcement. We saw it in the morning. There's this company called OpenAI. Has anybody heard about OpenAI? Yeah? Okay, cool. So OpenAI is basically one of the 2 most advanced artificial intelligence laboratories on the planet. This company was founded by Elon Musk and is now run by Y Combinator's head Sam Altman. And their goal is to solve artificial general intelligence, which is what we humans have. Artificial intelligence is very narrow. It only understands very narrow slices of information, but the aggregate knowledge of all those concepts may create one day artificial general intelligence, which is the ultimate goal. Once we hit AGI, it's unknowable what's going to happen later. And these guys are actually trying to solve it in a very safe way, because there's a lot of threats in that. So they have this amazing, magical artificial intelligence called DALL-E 2, which is a new AI system that can create realistic images and art from a description in natural language. Just like we understand natural language, spoken language, we can actually write a prompt to this artificial intelligence, and it will create a never-before-seen image in the history of humanity. Just like an artist would. It has artificial imagination. It has artificial creativity. I thought we would be hitting this point in AI research in the next 10, 15 years, but no, it just happened. And they have a waiting list of 1 million people, and thankfully, they accepted me for the artist program 2 days ago. Thank you. Thank you. And we're gonna play with it today, huh? Let's play with it. So I have created some stuff around here real quick. So check this out. This prompt: a beach tech event with happy people enjoying the after party. Check all the images that it created. These images have never existed ever before. This is an AI understanding different concepts, right, and applying them into an image. And this is just a start. It's just one image. Eventually, it's going to turn into video, into sound, into everything. So, for example, let me blow your mind a little bit. We had a couple around here. So yeah, we did this in the morning. A camel dressed like Santa Claus floating in space with a comet in the back in the Milky Way, and he created this. Hold on. Check it out. Let me see if I have another one. Okay, how about we try one that we invent right now? Let's see what happens. Right? Okay, Israel, can you help me like do a prompt with everybody?
Yes, I'll be the prompt man.
Okay, let's start with anything, any imagination. And we're gonna piece it together. We're gonna create a prompt, and we're gonna do a new image.
Yeah. So you need anything, right?
So a beach.
This morning we created this over coffee, like we thought of a camel in space, dressed as Santa Claus and everything, and then we sent it. So somebody give me an item. I'm gonna go with Sergio.
Unicorn.
All right.
Okay, a unicorn doing what?
With
Diving in the water.
Diving in the water. A unicorn diving in the water with sunglasses. Somebody said. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody else said. Yes. You got it. Yeah. You said that. Okay, with sunglasses.
scuba diving in the ocean.
A deck.
Tech. Yes. So something else to add to it? With wings.
A unicorn with wings.
Okay. Oh, wind. Wind.
A
A unicorn that suffers from wind. No?
A winged unicorn with sunglasses scuba diving in the ocean. Eating a pizza.
Eating a pizza. Oh, yes. Now we're getting there.
Okay.
With a beer. And a beer.
3D model. Detailed. Okay. Let's see what it turns out. A winged unicorn with sunglasses scuba diving in the ocean eating a pizza, 3D model detailed. Generates.
There you go.
Okay, so those are just examples. This is going. Just so you know that AI understands every concept now. You know, it's scary sometimes. So let's see what happens. Let's see. Check it out, guys. Check it out. Check it out.
Yes. A winged unicorn with some weird glasses on, eating a pizza, scuba diving. How amazing is that?
Yeah. Those are one of the rules. One of the 3 rules that they told me is like no NFTs. We don't have to be a year about NFTs in Arabic, they said. So that's one of the rules. So just for context, this image is not a collage. It's not like it took different parts of an image from the internet. It's not searching for images at all. It is imagining images. It is creating images like an artist would, right? Like if you wanted this to make an illustration of your book, you would have to hire an artist for the artist to create it. An artist like me, right? But now you can have artificial intelligence and it understands the concept of water. You know, it understands the concept of light transport. You see these water reflections right here? I did not tell it to do that. It just understands that when you're underwater, how light behaves, right? So check it out. It has a pizza. It has, you know, it's everything, right? So this is part of the program that I was accepted in to actually, you know, communicate to the masses how advanced artificial intelligence really is. Because artificial intelligence is a very dangerous thing. It can be used for bad. So if you are not aware of the power of it, you can be fooled by a bad actor with bad intentions. So now you know that this type of thing is possible. All right, so that was one of the demos that we were gonna do. Okay, so that's artificial intelligence. Let's go into blockchain real quick. So, as I told you, blockchain is gonna be the economic layer of the metaverse. Like everything economic and data ownership and privacy is gonna go through the blockchain. Real quick, a blockchain is basically a ledger, you know, a database of files that cannot be tampered with because the network itself requires so much power to actually, if you wanna change one little data, you would have to need more than 51% of the entire power of the entire network to tamper with it. So it creates a new consensus mechanism of what's real. You don't need a centralized you know, entity to tell you what transactions are real. You don't need that. It's completely decentralized. So you know, the 3 big things about blockchain is transparency. Everybody can see what's in the blockchain at all times. You can actually download the entire blockchain in your computer and go transaction by transaction. it's decentralized. We don't need a centralized institution to actually be in between transactions. It's peer-to-peer, and right now we're working on scalability. It's not like super scalable, the transactions per second are not quite there yet, but it's being worked on. We all know about cryptocurrency. It has ushered a new value system. Us humans, we're very special. We assign value to different things, and for example, like, what's the value of a jersey of Michael Jordan worn in the 1998, Chicago Bulls finals? If you think about it, it's only fabric. Like, it's only fabric, but we assign value to things because of our feelings about it. And crypto has exploded with value. Sometimes it goes to hell because it's not supported by an actual good technical team. But in other times, it has created a lot of good companies. And for example, Bitcoin, it's a store of value. Ethereum, it's planned to be a distributed computing platform, which is great. It has come into the search of NFTs, because before blockchain, the whole concept of digital scarcity, which was non-existent. Digital scarcity means that I have a file and you can copy the file everywhere, but now with NFTs, you only have one file that has a digital certificate of authenticity, and you can actually prove that it's only one of one. So it is scarce, and the more scarce something is, the more valuable it is. So now we have digital scarcity because of the blockchain, which has given rise of NFTs. And Beeple is which basically the Banksy of digital art. I love this guy. He sold an NFT for $69 million the other day. And it's a collage of his 13 years of creating art. This collage is the NFT that he sold for $69 million. And in a nutshell, that's blockchain. But everything is gonna be needing ultra-speed internet to actually work, and because remember, we're gonna be operating in virtual worlds, so we need a lot of bandwidth. And Starlink is Elon Musk's company that has a global network of satellites that are beaming high-speed internet to Earth. Right now, it's in a better program, but it's actually great. It works especially for remote areas that infrastructure has not reached them. And we are going to have 6G, which is 1,000 times faster than 5G. It promises a terabyte per second, and it's supposed to come in 2030. It's enough to actually power the proto-metaverse that we're going to be living in. But it's all tied up by standards. The internet that we know and love, it is created by standards. The internet standards that we use right now, the internet standard is TCP/IP, which is the internet. How it works is we have a node cuts a message, it transmits the message into a wire, and the other node and the other terminal gets all those pieces, recreates the message, and reads it. That is TCP/IP. That is the basis of how internet works. That is the standard of the internet, TCP/IP. So for the metaverse, we're gonna need entirely new standards, and they are still in development. We're so early yet. We need a concurrency infrastructure for that, that doesn't have a cap of users, standards for visual presentation, for file loading, for interoperability. Everything is being worked on. So what we need for an actual metaverse to exist is just, since it's gonna be a next version of the internet, it has to be persistent. The internet doesn't turn off at night, right? The metaverse won't. It never had resets or pauses or ends. It just continues indefinitely. It's synchronous and live, just like we can have a live event and anybody can join from anywhere. Living experiences, we already have those in the metaverse, but those have user caps now. And in the real metaverse, we're not going to have user caps, right? Everybody can be a part of the metaverse or participate in a specific event, place, or activity together. And it has to be a fully functioning economy, just like the internet is trillions in value now, that provides wide range of work, that produces value, that is recognized by others. And it has to be fully interoperable. Right now, our internet right now is very fragmented, and it's basically controlled by five companies that they don't like each other. And the promise of Web3 through blockchain is that you're going to be an owner of your own data. You know, you're going to be custodian of your data, and you're going to allow people or corporations to use it as you see fit. And anything and everything can work with each other. So that's the ideal, right? And well, that's you know a little nutshell of what it's coming. Is basically the next 18 months you're going to be seeing a lot of innovation in the hardware space. By 2025, we're going to be looking like the transition is actually happening. By the end of the decade, we're going to see it go like, okay, the smartphone is going to go away. 2030s, we're going to be in the metaverse for sure. And I have one more demo to show you because I gave you the theory, right? Now I'm going to show you my software, which is ICA, which is a metaverse-ready productivity software that has anybody's, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But we call it the future of work. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is, interfaces are going to change. We're not going to be tied to 2D interfaces. Interfaces are going to be 3D. So let me show you ICA. ICA, we want beta testers, and basically you can go to ICA.ai to sign up to be an early access of this technology. We want all of you. And yeah, that's the metaverse, and if anybody wants to partner up, and we're in the round as well, so if you want to talk about investment or partnerships or beta testing, I'm here for you. And I'm Carlos Metz, and this was the metaverse. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Carlos. We had to take a little bit more time than what we normally would have, and I know some of you are really cold here in the front, and you couldn't walk away from it. But this morning when we were having a call in a public space, so we didn't let our imagination go, which probably tonight after a few beers I'm going to go and grab him and say, let's play with Dali. So before we go on the beer, I just wanted to see if any of you have a question or two. I know is there anything you want to ask Carlos in front of anybody else? But don't you think that's amazing? We are the first audience to watch DALL-E on action. How cool is that? Good question, Anita. Yeah. Can we have one quick microphone at the back there, please? Just I know once you're on networking, we will close the curtains behind us, so you come back and you won't be as cold. Please, question.
Hi, Carlos.
Hi.
Thanks for your presentation.
Thank you.
I would like to ask you, it is a question between Metaverse and your ICA technology. What about privacy? What do you think about privacy? Privacy of information about personal people, about information about sensible information such as health and people in Metaverse. What do you think about that?
So privacy is one of the pillars of ICA, and especially in the metaverse, like I said, the privacy of your data is paramount. Just not like the Web 2.0 that we have right now, that we don't have privacy at all, sadly. It just goes to everybody, and anybody can see exactly what you're doing. Web 3 and the metaverse are privacy focused, right? Just like ICA is privacy focused. In ICA, we do federated learning, which means that it learns the patterns of your work, and what it uploads to the servers is actually the insights, not the data itself. And basically it's all processed in device. So it's edge computing plus federated learning, so that your data stays with you at all times, and everything that we learn is just like an aggregated knowledge and not a pinpointed knowledge of you. So we're staying true to the values of privacy as a human right, and the metaverse in the Web 3.0 is going to give us that, hopefully.
Great, thank you. So I know you want to go and get a drink. Thank you very much. We'll call you back in a minute. Go enjoy yourselves, toilet break, talk to each other. Thank you, Carlos. Welcome to the Metaverse.